Well, the women's top 10 Ballon d'Or rankings dominated by the English and Spanish. Ewa Pajor from Poland is the lone exception. When it comes to this list, you can see Alessia Russo came in at number 3rd after winning the Champions League with Arsenal and winning the Euros with England. Then Mariona Caldentey, she comes in 2nd. She also won the Champions League with Arsenal and was the WSL Player of the Season. But Aitana Bonmati wins her 3rd straight Ballon d'Or, and here she is with Aggie and Balaguer.
¿Te lo esperabas?
Bien,
Did you wait that it was coming?
Ahora en
I
otras
keep on saying it.
entrevistas.
In
Ballon
other
d'Or ha
interviews,
decidido desde hace un año pues mantener la expectativa hasta el final.
having the
Realmente el año pasado tampoco
expectations
se sabía,
until the
este año
very end.
tampoco.
I didn't know the years
Al final es
before,
venir
and
aquí, ver
this
lo
year
que
I didn't.
pasa y estar al lado de
You
grandes compañías
arrive here,
también, pues
wait
pueden
to see
estar
what
ahí.
happens,
Este
being
año he
close
decidido que no
to
me preparara
great
el discurso
teammates.
porque evidentemente
I said it in the moment, I
pensaba que había
didn't
otros
prepare the
compañeros que
speech.
también podían estar ahí.
I thought that there were other
dicho,
teammates
mira,
that could have been
lo
there
hecho,
too.
hecho está, que pase lo que tenga que pasar.
Whatever
Y tengo que
happens,
hablar,
happens.
ya diré lo que siento en ese momento
And
y así
if
ha
I need
sido,
to
¿no?
speak, I'll say what I feel in that moment,
Bien,
and
la
that's how it
verdad que
was.
es un orgullo estar aquí por
Great.
tercer año consecutivo.
I'm so proud to be here
¿No te
for
da
a
la
third
sensación, a ver si estás de
year
acuerdo conmigo, que el fútbol ha dicho, aunque no se gane por 1 centímetro o 2, lo importante es que tú ahora mismo eres la mejor?
It doesn't matter if it's by a
Bien, yo
centimeter
creo
or
que
by a
también
hair.
hay que valorar esto,
You
¿no?
are the
Que
winner in this moment.
pese a no haber ganado 2 grandes títulos importantes, creo que
Even if
hay
we
que
didn't
valorar
win
el
2
llegar ahí cada
big
año, porque
titles this year,
tanto
we
yo
need
como mi
to
equipo
put into
y
value
equipos, porque
being
hablo del
there
Barça,
in
de
the
la selección,
final.
estamos en
With Barcelona
las últimas finales de todo
and
lo
the
que se ha
Spain
jugado, en
and
casi
Spain,
todas, ¿no?
we've been in the
Por
final
lo
in every
tanto, creo
tournament that we
que
played,
hay que
almost every
poner
one.
en valor eso, al fútbol
We need to
y en la
value
vida.
that.
Yo creo que se
In
pierde más que se
football
gana, entonces
and in life, you lose more
creo
than you
que
win.
aquí también se pone en valor
And
esto y está
here,
muy bien,
we
sobre todo
value it as
por la
well.
gente que lo ve y por la enseñanza
And
que das
for
a
the people that
todo el mundo.
win and the lessons everyone
Bueno, pues ya
learns.
está. Muchas gracias, felicidades.
All right, thank you. That's it.
Lovely,
Good
Nico.
job, Nico.
She seemed genuinely surprised, Darian, didn't she?
I mean, just as surprised as I was, honestly. I think, first of all,
I caught it on video.
yeah?
You're surprised, yeah. It's definitely on video.
I'm scared to see that. But Nigel probably looks smug in the background.
Oh, yeah, I was smug.
Oh, yeah, I
said
bet.
it. But okay.
I bet. No, she is an incredible player. She is the best player in the world. To win that 3 times in a row is beyond, and it's absolutely deserved. But if we are gauging this off of this last year's performances, and you look at Alessia Russo, you look at Mariona Caldentey, you look at Marta, who's not even in the top 10, and the way that the voting is, Nico said at the beginning, only 50 journalists voted for the women's game.
From the top 50 nations ranked in the
top 50
FIFA,
nations, yeah.
FIFA rankings. And for the men, it's 100 journalists from the 100 top men's teams in the FIFA rankings.
Predominantly European then, basically.
Yes, especially for the women's side. I think you look at the 1 to 10, it was very, very clear that this was very European-based. And there's so much more talent out there on the women's side. But we're looking at Bonmati, and I think some bias that we're seeing from her winning at the last 2 seasons. She was injured for a huge chunk of last year. She didn't win a championship. And we're looking at Dembele. If he had not won the Champions League, would he be winning?
No. I highly doubt that.
So how is Bonmati winning this and Mariona Caldentey is not? How is Alessia Russo not in the top 2? I didn't think that Bonmati was going to be in the top 2 of this. So I'm shocked. I think that this just needs to get better on the women's side. I think she's an incredible player. This is no slight to her. This is more of my criticism of how the voting is and how we're actually looking at the full sphere of the women's game, because there's so much talent out there that needs to be weighted so much more, WAFCON included.
Do you think that if they would have given 50 more votes to the women's national teams, to journalists from the nations ranked 51 to 100, the outcome would have been different?
I do. I think that we don't, because there's only 50 journalists, most of that is going to be in Europe. You look at the TV rights, you look at the media deals, you look at the nations that get the investment, including the United States, the nations that actually get the investment. That's where you're going to throw your votes. But how much hidden talent is there? Why am I blanking on her name? Linda Caicedo blew onto the scene at the last World Cup.
Right.
She's been an incredibly talented player, but we don't wait. Copa America Femenil, the same as we do the Euros or any of these big European tournaments.
I mean, because Aitana Bonmati won the domestic treble with Barcelona this season, but as to your point, had we seen the Champions League not carry as much weight on the men's side of things, maybe Lamine Yamal would have come out in a different position.
100%. And I mean, we had this conversation, and Bonmati, like you said, that they didn't win the Euros, they didn't win the Champions League.
Got to the final in both.
Got to the final. Okay, so we getting participation trophies now. Who wins it? Without a doubt, she is the best individually talented player in the world. When you talk about technical ability, skill, best all-round, she is the best player. But for the metrics on what we've seen and how this all won today, and give her credit, she was surprised because when you listen to an interview, she was really surprised. She had no expectations. She thought someone else would win.
Didn't even have a speech prepared.
Just went with it and said she'll say how she feels. So you could see the shock by herself that she didn't really feel that she was going to win today. So I give her credit for that.
I hate to be like this, like manipulating the discourse, because obviously if you have that in your hand, you absolutely deserve it. But from the 3 in the row that she has won, is this the one that she deserved it the least?
100%. This 1,000% should have gone to Alessia Russo, Mariona Caldentey, and Marta should have been at least in the top 5.
And I suppose as well, the precedent that sets going forward, it makes it a question mark on the judgment, doesn't it, Darian? Because Alessia Russo is going to be thinking, what more can I do? I won the Champions League. I won the Euros this summer with England.
Twice in a row.
When, by the way, England were nowhere near the favourites, really, especially once the tournament started.
Arsenal weren't the favourites
season.
at all with Champions League.
Right. So
no one thought they would make it that far. And she spearheaded that team the same way Dembele spearheaded PSG, scoring goals, defensive presence, the consistency as a forward, and she's not in the top 2. I just have a lot of questions on actually how this voting truly works.
We need a panel.
We do.
Of the 50 voters. So basically, you make a vote of 1 through 10 from the candidates available. You can't just choose a random player, right? You need to choose from, your ballot needs to be filled from 1 to 10 from the 30, at least in the men's, the 30 candidate available. For the women, it's the same, right? So, and then they're weighted. Obviously, that from your first place vote gets more points and your 10th place vote gets least points. So throw in those 50 votes and obviously 50 more on the men's side, it'll change things up. But I would love to have those journalists sit on the panel and ask them, hey, why did you vote this person first, this person last?
But then the thing, like we said, that again, it's the 50, and then you look at the players that were picked, and if you see the top 10 again, especially from the women's side, you can see the influence that it's very heavily European influenced. And again, it's the same thing we talk about. There seems to be this power control with Barcelona, Real Madrid, and these big clubs. There seems to be that extra bit of favoritism with these big clubs where their players seem to be the ones always win this competition. I think that is where there kind of is a bit of a stain sometimes in this competition, where people feel that it's not really done fair in who really deserves it and who truly deserves to get recognition.
And when we're looking at the competition that all these players play in, the Spanish League, Barcelona whoops every single team that they play. There's no question that they're going to topple the league every year. The WSL, every single game is a challenge. Nearly every single game is a challenge. There's a little more disparity in the Spanish League than there is in the English League. But the competition is so much higher there. And same within the NWSL with Marta. Or she won a championship with Orlando last year, and they're barely into playoffs right now. The level of competition and how these numbers still match up. I'm even looking at Alessia Russo, Mariona Caldentey compared to Bonmati. They outperformed her. It doesn't make sense.
What if they wouldn't have made that final? Barcelona, the Champions League final. Would we even be considering
but the funny
Bonmati as a Ballon d'Or winner?
We probably still would, just based on this voting.
But then if you listen to an interview again, she kind of brought up the final to say,
both finals,
to justify that we made both finals. So she brought that up herself to kind of justify, to say, maybe I deserve it, or maybe people don't think I deserve it, but at least we still made the finals.
She was injured for a big chunk of that, though.
But she brought up the finals, which, again, it just goes to show about how people are. I mean, listen, I picked her to win it anyway.
Well, the 2018 World Cup final, Luka Modric got there and he ended up winning the Ballon d'Or, but he didn't win the World Cup.
True.
He won Champions League, though.
He won Champions League. And
still won a big trophy.
It was argued to deny him, though, at that time as well, though. Like, there was no other player playing the level that he was.
It's also interesting how the men's follow suit, like with Luis Enrique winning Manager of the Year. Then you've got Dembele obviously winning for PSG, for Serena Wiegmann to obviously be applauded with Manager of the Year, but then England not carried the same weight. It was slightly different all over the board, wasn't it, for the English
Poppy,
side?
you know they don't like the English. Come on.
Well, let's just remind ourselves of how the voting happens, because Nico, you gave a great explanation, but this is the breakdown of the graphic of how it's decided: the individual performances, decisive, impressive character, team performances and achievements, and class and fair play. That's why you never won a Ballon d'Or, Nigel, then.
I have class.
Do you?
I have class and fair play.
Yeah?
My fair play is just harder than most.
You do not have fair play.
I do have fair play. Foul play.
Barely
Foul
say it.
play and class, but I do have the class.
Yeah, you have one of those.